I've been texting this boy for 8 months and he's suggested friends with benefits after all of that. I'm struggling to fully trust my boyfriend after finding flirty messages on his phone which he hid from me. How to be confident in your sex life? Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Look who we've got with us today.
We have a special guest today. She has decided to come on the vlog for the first time in a long time. It's Mila.
She's very happy about it.
Hi Mila, give us a smile. No?
She did jump up here by her own will.
Anyway, welcome back to our channel.
Hi, welcome back to our channel.
We're doing another sit-down video. Sorry, Carys, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. Go ahead, James. Oh my god, I've started that already.
We're doing another sit-down video. It's not an ice cream. We're doing another sit-down video today because, like we said in the last sit-down video, we are at our parents' house and we're actually filming this on the same day as the last sit-down.
We just finished.
I put on a new hoodie.
And I put on a cardigan.
So that you guys may think this is actually a different day. It's not. It's the same day and I'm still holding the fake microphone. Over to you, Mila. Thank you for that, Mila. I feel a bit starstruck that Mila has decided to join us today.
Same. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a dilemmas video. Now this is our first ever attempt at one of these videos ever. We've never done one of these sorts of videos before, and if you've never heard of this type of video, James, stop it. Why are you doing that? This is just what she does. She's just fascinating. If you've never heard of a dilemmas video before, it's basically when you guys send in your dilemmas, your things that are going on in your life, almost like stuff that you'd want to talk to a friend about, and then we're here on the other end to sort of talk about it and give our advice and just have a general like chit chat, family time with all of you guys on the other end. Okay.
So yeah, we did see our good friends Connor and Al doing one of these.
We did.
I think loads of people have done them though.
Yeah.
And we did theirs quite a while ago and we're a bit late to the
we
train.
did actually.
A bit late to the train.
We are.
Okay, let's keep moving.
This video's not going well.
So what, is this just any dilemma, relationship dilemmas, what's going on?
Oh yeah, okay, so we put on my stories yesterday, you could DM me or you could fill in the little box which is like this big, so we've got a range of like long to short ones. And we put them as, we originally gave it everything and then there were so many relationship slash sort of sex related ones, partner related ones that we just thought let's just do one based all on those type of topics because that was clearly the most sort of popular topic that was getting asked about. So you're so annoying, you literally can't stop playing with her, can you?
I'm just so happy that Rita's decided to go and join this.
So cute. So we've done it around that whole like relationship sex type of topic. So let's just dive straight in. Wait, before we dive in, I just wanted to say that I've watched a video before a long time ago. I watched one of these videos. Was I even on? I can't remember. And some of the answers made me feel a little bit like sad about, because they were like quite different to what I thought would be the answer to the questions. So I just want to say at the beginning of this video that these are our personal answers and we would not in a million years ever want anyone to feel uncomfortable watching a video like this. And so at the end of the day, this is your life and it's always your decision, and I would back anyone making any decision that they wanted in their life. So I just wanted to, I know that's just like a stupid thing to say at the beginning of the video, but I just wanted to make it clear that I don't want anyone to be upset by anything that we say.
Me and Mila are always on your side.
Okay, let's go. First question. I'm struggling with trust within my relationship. I really love him. I'm stuck. Okay. Bye. She's like, what? That was the video?
Good job.
Go. Oh, she's so cute.
Stay in touch, babe.
Okay.
Is there any indication on why?
No,
like,
and I guess
there's not necessarily been any
that's what makes it
reason
difficult.
for mistrust.
I guess that makes it difficult. We don't really know her situation, but I think everybody struggles with trust in some ways, even if there is no reason. Let's bring you guys closer.
I think early on in any relationship, I think I'm one of those firm believers that, like, you know, trust is kind of
built.
Yeah, it's built over time, isn't it? And you're never going to kind of start a relationship and instantly trust the other person. And I think sometimes when you're watching TV shows and stuff like that, you know, they've been going out for a day and it's like, if you don't trust me, then how can we be in a...
I know.
It's like, I'm not being funny, I've been with you for a day. It's like, how can you trust that person? You hardly know them.
But it only gets to be like an issue if it's been, obviously, if you've been in a relationship for a long period of time and you're still feeling that way. But I feel like a lot of the answers within relationships is communication.
I agree.
And I feel like just talking to them about why you feel like you don't trust them. But then also a lot of the time, for me anyway, was the case that I would lack trust because I wasn't confident in myself. And so everything that I would wonder, like, is James gonna cheat on me? Is James gonna fancy another girl? Like, that all came from me, even though you feel like it's about the other person. A lot of the time it's just about you, and it's about how you're feeling.
Yeah, I think you have to really think, like, have they given you a reason not to trust them? Because even though I said that thing about early in a relationship, you're not necessarily definitely going to have trust for the other person. You have to you still have to trust them.
Yeah.
In terms of, if you're early on in a relationship, you have to think, well, you know, if they cheat on me or if something happens, then this is early on, and like at least it happens early on rather than 9 months in. The issue is if you're 6 months in and you still don't have any trust.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember being in uni, and so we'd been, like, I struggled with trust for a long time just because I lacked a lot of confidence in myself. I remember being in uni, and I literally remember walking down the stairs from and I was like, I don't understand why I've been with you for so long, and I still feel like when you go out and like party, I still get the feeling, or like just have the thoughts, what if he cheats on me? What if there's like, you know, if he falls in love with someone else? I remember you just saying to me, well, if that happens, then that happens. There is no point in you ever sitting in your chair at home worrying about these things. Like, if they happen, they happen and it wasn't meant to be. Or if they happen, they happen and you work it out. There's no point worrying. There's no point just not trusting for the sake of it. It either happens and then something, you know, you sort it out, or you communicate, or I don't know.
You have to trust the other person's morals, but I think it's so difficult because people fall in love for different reasons. So I think, even though Carys is beautiful and gorgeous and stunning, I am massively personality driven, and I think I know that you have really good morals.
Yeah.
And so I know that if you did cheat on me, there's no way like I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that you have trust in me, that if anything did happen, there's no way I wouldn't be able to tell you, because I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the thing. I think it's pointless. I think you have to trust the morals of the other person rather than necessarily trust they're not going to cheat or not going to fall out of love or not going to, because then at least if something happens you will know, and if something does happen you can't predict the future.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can predict these things, but it gave me a comfort of just being like, there's no point in thinking about it all the time. Like, you've just got to live day to day and sort things out when they happen. Like, you've got to go into your relationship with full trust. Yeah. And if something happens, then you sort it out, and then you rebuild the trust, and then So, gosh, there's so many points to that question.
Like,
there is that's exactly what I was trying to say at the beginning of the video. Basically, there's no
I think trust the other person's morals.
Okay. My parents think my boyfriend changes me. We've been dating for 4 years. I know he's the James to my Carys. I love him a lot. How do I make my parents happy? That's a really hard one.
Yeah, I think like I'm
changes me.
I think this is what I struggle with, and I think especially with boys, it's this whole thing of, you know, since you've been with her, you've changed, man, and like stuff like that, isn't it? And it's like, of course you're going to change in a relationship. Yeah. Like, it's completely natural, isn't it? Like, we both changed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand.
You know, like,
people think you change for
the bad reason, in a bad way.
I think it isn't completely natural. Firstly, it's natural for parents to worry. They're naturally going to worry that maybe, like, now you're interested in a boy or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, that your work's going to slip, your prospects are going to slip. Like, parents instantly worry, like, they did want to go to university to do this, and now they don't, they're failing at school. So it's natural for parents to worry. I think you have to, if your parents are worried, firstly you have to evaluate yourself, and you have to think, am I changing for the better or for the worse? And I think if you are changing for the worse, then obviously you have to look at your relationship. Yeah. So I think you can't instantly write it off. No. Firstly, you really do have to look at your relationship and think, do they have a point? Do these people who, like, love me probably the most in the world,
do they have a point? Yeah.
Do they have a point that I am potentially changing for the worse?
And if you think that you are happy with how you are, and even if you have changed, you're happy with the change, then it's almost up to you to decide whether you want to go ahead with that, and in hope that if you know you make it is hard though, isn't it? It's really hard.
And it's understandable, but like, I think you have to think, am I being the best I can, and am I happy in this relationship? And I think if those two things ring true, then it doesn't matter that you change. A big thing is, you know, making sure you don't lose connection with your family, lose connection with your friends.
That your partner's always bettering you and wanting you best, and wanting you to stay in touch with your friends and family, and wanting those things for you. At the end of the day, it is up to you, so you have to evaluate how happy you are. So this one was, I'm always so worried about him going out and drinking too much. I can't sleep until he goes to bed. I feel like that is kind of similar to the trust one, in that, like, if you're worried, so there's two reasons that I would have been worried in the past. One would be the trust of like worrying if they're going to cheat on you or worrying if they're going to flirt with other people. And that comes down to like, there's nothing you can do, so you might as well just go to bed, like, and you'll find out if something happens in the future.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's almost pointless to sit and worry and be, you know, at home like that. The second part is if someone's going out and drinking and you're worried for their safety.
Yeah.
That's a different one, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it's getting at, whether it's getting at the I don't trust him when they cheat, or whether it's getting at the I don't trust him, he's going to get into a fight, or he's going to not make it home.
Because when either of us go out, very rarely, if we go out like partying or whatever separately, of course I sit in bed worrying just that you're going to be safe.
I worry about the safety aspect big time.
I'm wanting to be there to pick you up or be there for you if you need me or anything. So I feel like that's a much more normal one.
I think everyone worries about that, and like just like when you have kids in the future, you'd worry about that.
Yeah,
like, you obviously worry about your friends and family being safe, and especially when alcohol's involved.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, in terms of the trust one, again, like
it's a lot of the things we covered.
There's nothing you can do in a horrible way, and you have to trust them until they give you a reason not to trust you,
which is horrible.
And like you said, you have to almost find that trust within yourself.
Yeah.
And if they are giving you reasons not to trust them, you need to communicate about that.
Definitely.
And understand.
Definitely.
And again, if you don't like kind of how your partner's living their life, again, you need to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should never stop your partner from doing things they love, but, you know, you need to communicate about these things, don't you? To have a healthy relationship.
Defo. Gosh, this video is so serious. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I've been texting this boy for 8 months, and he's suggested friends with benefits after all of that.
Aww.
That's really sad. Especially if you felt like during that 8 months that it was going somewhere, or like that you were going to be together. I don't know what I'd give my advice for that one.
It's difficult because we don't know the age of the person who sent in the question.
Gosh, yeah, it's really difficult.
We don't know whether they have had serious relationships in the past.
Yeah.
We don't it's difficult to answer, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really difficult without knowing loads of the background information, but
you can't give advice on it, can you?
No. I mean, I'd personally say that
I think friends with benefits are massively damaging personally.
I think it is. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I can't see how it can work. Like, ultimately, I don't understand it. Like, if you're really good friends with someone who you're also attracted to,
yeah, it doesn't
how
make
is
sense.
that not a relationship?
And then also, I would have thought,
and it just sounds like they want an open relationship.
And if I was in your position, I would probably say, especially if you're asking the question in a way of like you're gutted. So if he'd have come to you after the 8 months and said friends with benefits, and you'd been like, yeah, that fits me perfectly. Yeah. Then you could maybe be. Yeah. If that's for you, then
I think
sure.
If you're going into it to win
him
over.
Recipe for disaster.
I think it's a
recipe for sadness. If you feel like you're in love with someone and they suggest that, it's almost really hard to say no thanks.
And even though I don't believe like that sex is sacred, it's still like the most intimate physical thing you can do with a person, and you're naturally gonna fall for them if that's happening, and you're also naturally opening yourself up to being vulnerable towards that person, like with that person. So I just think,
especially if you're
I think it's just something to be cautious about, you know.
Protect yourself. Yeah. Don't forget to protect yourself.
Yes, exactly.
How to keep things interesting when you've been with someone for so long?
Well, like just is the sex again?
Sexually, I think that would be. Okay. Oh, or not. I read that as sexually, but
watch a lot of movies.
Go to the cinema. Nando's.
Buy just another dog. More dogs. Just get as many dogs as possible. Every year you get bored, just get a dog. Okay.
Why
I don't know.
I always do little accents. I
feel quite intense for those first 3 questions. I'm a bit exhausted now.
I know it's really intense, isn't it? But like it's nice. Like it's just It's
how to keep things interesting.
Yeah, go on. How to keep things interesting?
Not have sex that often.
Keep it special.
Keep it special.
I do like the idea of keeping it special. I think with keeping it interesting, I think if it was sexually, if it's not sexually, then just like do hobbies together, do like first things. So like when we went segwaying, that was so much fun.
That was fun.
And like just trying new things together is always really fun. And things that make you kind of like laugh and like go camping and just do weird stupid stuff.
Yeah, like put yourself out your comfort zone as a couple.
With them, that's really fun.
That's kind of really fun.
Yeah, and then sexually, I'd say talk to each other. Like if you wanna, I don't know, switch things up or do different things, like just communicate. And I know that's honestly just like an answer to so many questions, but that is honestly such a big thing.
Okay, you may have, you may each have similar kinks.
Yeah, exactly. Like you never know.
And that's
like
the beauty of being in a long-term relationship, and the majority of people you speak to say that sex is so much better in a long-term relationship than it is kind of one-night stands and stuff.
Yeah, because
you are meant to be able to communicate with that person and actually
learn
tell
about
them what you enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than
just, I don't know, missionary
on a one night stand yet,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, so that is so true. But I feel like a lot of people do struggle to sort of start the conversation about it. And what I would say is, if you're going to start a conversation about what sort of things they might enjoy or what sort of stuff you haven't talked about before in terms of sex, I'd say be really go into it really openly, and never ever ever make your partner feel embarrassed if he says something that you're like really not into. Do not be like, oh my god, you weirdo. No.
I think it's good to almost do research on it first. So maybe before you even
Yeah.
have the convo, you can do some research on it. I think you.
It's such a change.
It is.
thing to
No,
say.
but in terms of like, if you're nervous about what that other
Yeah.
person could say, like, don't ever feel pressure to do anything you don't want to, obviously. But I'm saying, like, just do research into it, because if they suggest something that you think that's so weird, it's
Yeah.
like, it's probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably quite common.
Yeah. I know, because sometimes you just get stuck in the mind of like
Yeah.
what you know and what you're like.
Or
and
maybe if you've thought, ooh, that might be, I want to do that, might be fun, you may have talked yourself out of it thinking that's a weird thing that
Yeah.
you want to do. You know, you may look it up and think, actually, this is very common. Like,
Yeah.
most girls like this, most boys like this, whatever.
yeah, definitely, that's actually a really good idea. And yeah, just being open to like, you'd probably be surprised how insecure your partner would feel about being open about what they enjoy, or being open about stuff
Yeah.
to do with sex. Like, although you might feel embarrassed and you might feel like they're really confident and they're really good in bed or whatever,
Stop it.
but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how
the hips.
hard it is. It's your flexibility.
You've seen me dance.
Your insane flexibility. Where's that leg going, James? You literally can't even touch
Is
the
that
toes.
sarcasm?
No. Oh my gosh, no. Okay, yeah, I feel like that was a good one. Damn!
Touching my toes.
You are
That's
so
actually quite
flexible.
difficult.
Basically, all of them were along the lines of sex,
It's
because
because people are embarrassed
people
to
feel
talk to their
very
friends.
uncomfortable to talk to
Yeah.
people about it.
I
and
think you were really lucky because you had a really close group of friends that you did speak to it about and stuff.
Really good. And my mum's always been really open with me with like, not even
Yeah.
just saying the word like sex.
Yeah.
Like, even I feel a bit naughty on camera, like saying the word sex, and it's like, why? Like,
Come on, say it again, say it again.
I don't know what that means.
No one does, mate.
I can search the web for. I'm on my mum has always been very open me would like not you just saying the words exactly.
Even Siri doesn't pick up on the word sex.
Siri, he just left out the word.
He left out the word sex in every single sentence.
He literally.
I cannot say that word.
I cannot. Oh my god, that really tickled me. So yeah, people feel like they can't say it when I just want to say to you that. I just want to say to you right now, that was really deep. Sex is completely freaking normal. How to stop silly arguments escalating with your partner after a stressful day at work, etc.
Okay. Sometimes, like, we let silly little things escalate.
Silly little
You know,
things.
they don't escalate too far, but they do sometimes. And then after like 10 minutes, you're like, why on earth are we like annoyed
Yeah,
to
I
each
know.
other about this? But like, how do you get to that stage? I actually think sometimes, like, what I feel sometimes works
Go.
for us is to actually just take a moment on our own. And I think
100%.
sometimes, you can get into a little bit of a tiff with your partner.
Yeah.
And you can be kind of going at each other a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it just escalates because then you bring up things that are completely unrelated.
Yeah.
And
And
it
you're just angry in general.
And you're just angry, I don't know, because you've had a bad day
Upset,
at work.
yeah.
And you shouldn't take it. And like, you literally both just need to take 5-10 minutes. And we've done it so often, haven't
Yeah.
we? We've had like a tiff and we've gone. And after a couple of minutes, we're like, this is just
so
ridiculous.
stupid. And I find the more that we started doing that, the more during the argument, I was much more grounded in a
Yeah.
sense. I was literally saying things and being like, oh my, this is the most stupid thing. Why are you wasting, there's not enough time in the day. Like, what you're going to do, you're going to argue, you're going to take some time apart, you're going to be like, okay, that was silly what we both said. We both love each other. We want the best for each other.
Yeah.
Let's communicate and work things out.
Yeah. I used
Just
to really...
cut the middle bit and just...
Just get... Because I used to really struggle early on in the relationship of like admitting when I was wrong and stuff.
Yeah.
And it used to be really...
It's
and I
hard.
think so many people have that,
Yes.
don't they? And like, it's a bit embarrassing to admit, but so many people have
You keep
that.
going on
and
your
you're in the argument and you're like, I know I'm wrong.
Keep
this is
going.
so ridiculous, but I'm... we're so far into the argument now, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And then after a few minutes, you're like, yeah, you're right. It's natural as humans that defence kicks in. And we
Yes.
start arguing
Yes.
and
It
that's
is.
fine. It's normal in a relationship. It's just when they
Totally.
really get out of hand, there were small things. And I think at that stage, take 10 minutes apart to really think about it.
Yeah, really think...
Often you think this is pathetic. But then sometimes if you still you value your point and you like sit down and just try and have an open
And sometimes you can
communication.
agree to disagree when
Yeah.
it's appropriate.
Yeah.
And then one of the big things to question is just like, do you still feel like through this thing now that your partner still wants the best for you and you know, I don't know. I feel like if the argument's about a thing that is actually detrimental to your relationship together, and you're questioning whether you're actually like going to be beneficial for each other in the future, yes, but most of the time they're just stupid tiffs.
And then essentially you have to think, you know,
try and see both sides.
You have to talk about it, don't you? You have to see both sides.
Try and see both sides, because there is usually, that's what I try and do. I can often really understand your side, but I'm really passionate about my side, and that's when you can often
and so you don't admit that you see the other person's view. Like you don't actually
go the opposite.
You don't try to come to a good conclusion.
Anyway, I hope we answered that one well. I'm struggling with my significant other. I feel like he isn't over his ex, but he's adamant he is. What should I do? I feel like that without knowing the situation, he either, it would be really difficult to know, because I want to say, make sure you check it's not a lack of trust and self-confidence from yourself, because again, I feel like I could relate to that in the past of being like...
We don't know we don't know why that person thinks that. We don't know whether there's actually good reasons for that person to think that, like maybe he's constantly looking at her Facebook page or things like that.
Are there reasons?
Whether she's just thinking that... I don't know.
Yeah, because that's natural. Like, if your partner's been with someone else, it's natural for you, well, it was, like, just to feel jealous. It's the same as jealousy.
You were the person that, you know, the other person broke up with you. Like if someone broke up with me and then I pretty quickly got into a relationship with you, I think that's more reason than if I broke up with someone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and especially if it's in a horrible circumstance like cheating or something that really doesn't like close the book. Yeah. You think, oh, you can't help it.
You can't help it, of course you can't.
If you were with someone who cheated on you,
or even if you're just with someone who has a long-term ex or any ex, like,
it's natural.
It's very, very natural to wonder about that person and question whether they still are interested in them or whatever. But there's two things to check in my opinion. One, whether you have valid points, and if you do, then he might just be lying and saying he's not. When if you really feel like he does, and you feel like there's enough valid points for it, then it's something to keep concerning each other with.
You have to talk about
communicate. And then the second one is whether you think it's more from you, and whether you think that it's just you struggling with your self-confidence and worth. Because when you lack worth and you lack knowing your worth, you think, why are they with me? I'm sure they still prefer their ex. I'm sure that.
And I think that's a really big one. I think you have to value the relationship at every stage. So I think if you're in a relationship now and you're thinking, oh, it's going to be amazing in 10 years' time, we're going to have a house, we're going to have kids, like he's going to be a great father, etc., etc. It's like you have to still have value in the relationship now. And so if all you can think about is they're not over their ex, they're not doing this, and every day now you're miserable, like you've got to think, is that a relationship you want to be in?
Is that a relationship?
Do you know what I mean? Even if you love the person, if they're not bringing value to your life, and I think that's about finding worth in your own life. It's about having confidence in yourself and belief in yourself that you're you, like you're the main person in your life. And is this person benefiting me? Yeah. And if they're not, then don't really look too far into the future.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying if you have an argument, break up. But like if you're having months of not being happy with someone, you know, either like if you are married or if you're in a really long-term relationship, like seek help. You could go counselling, stuff like that. Definitely. But if it's quite a short-term thing, then I don't know, just think about it.
Okay, so this is a similar sort of one. Struggling to fully trust my boyfriend after finding flirty messages on his phone which he hid from me. Now that sucks, and that's very, very heartbreaking, and I feel like there could be 1,000,001 answers to this question, to this dilemma.
I think this is such a difficult question, because how do you go about it? You can't say, well, break up with him.
No, I know, which is what you want to say.
It's difficult. You can't really defend that.
I know.
You can't defend someone doing that, but then...
I know.
And it's difficult. And again, I think it's about finding worth in yourself and deciding whether you love that person and whether they're adding... worth to your life.
100%. It's really difficult. Exactly, you literally nailed that on the head. Like straight away you read it and you want to go, you just go girl, pack your bags, get out of here, like you know, independent. But like when you, it's just not that easy.
I think maybe you could have an open conversation about why he's felt the need to do that. Like, I don't know how far into a relationship you are. Like if it's really early on, then maybe he's struggling to kind of adapt to relationship life. Obviously, again, it's not making excuses, but it's like I think having a conversation is good. There will be a reason why he's done it. Maybe he felt like, I don't know, like something's missing in the relationship, and instead of talking to you about it, he's tried to find it in someone else. Tried to find it by like everyone knows it's wrong, and sometimes that's why people do it. I feel.
Yes, and also another thing that just came to me is a lot of cheating, a lot of sending flirty messages, a lot of that is because people lack, so he, the guy in this situation, would be lacking self-confidence and self-worth, and they get that, so say they're not getting that from their partner, you've just got whatever relationship going on, and they need almost the validation from other people to be like, you're so sexy, oh blah blah blah, and they're really struggling with themselves. They need that validation, and that happens with a lot of cheating.
They don't feel like they're good enough for you, and so they need to kind of other people to tell them that they're good enough.
Or...
Maybe he doesn't feel good enough in that relationship. Really trying to understand why that's happened and why he's felt the need to do that. And and then if you can make sure it never happens again and move on, brilliant. If not, if it's affected you too much, then
that's up to you.
It sucks, but that happens.
How to be... this is a good one. It's back to sex. How to be confident in your sex life. I feel like, come on, you can answer this. You're really confident. And I'm not as confident as James. And I don't know what the answer is. Why do people lack confidence in sex life?
Not understanding what the other person likes.
Maybe.
I think this is so different again to whether you're someone having one night stands or in a long-term relationship.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
In a long-term relationship...
Maybe you're right.
It's about understanding what the other person likes.
Yeah. But then also, maybe it must link to just general confidence in life. Because I am this type of person that lacks. And like one day I'll feel really great, like even within my sex life, one day I can be super confident, and then one day, it depending on how you're actually feeling that day, if you're feeling anxious and stressed and whatever, that will reflect in your sex life. So maybe take a step back actually from the sex life and have a look at how confident you feel on a day-to-day basis.
In a long-term relationship, it's about having confidence in your relationship. And I think if you have confidence in your relationship, then you should be able to have sex, kind of do what you almost think is good, and then
give it a go.
Literally, but like this is the funny thing. It's all about everything in life is about communication.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you do the sex, okay, and then afterwards, if one of you wasn't too keen on the sex,
don't be afraid to talk about it. Yeah,
I think so many people are like, you know, after a week of dating, oh, I love this person, but the sex is terrible. That's how I'm being funny. Talk to them.
Yeah, I'm not being funny.
Oh, could you do this? Could you do that?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
especially because both guys and girls fake it, like they'll you know, you have sex and you're like, oh, that feels so good,
and then after
you're thinking it's terrible. Let's just be honest.
Surely everyone can be the same amount of good in bed. It's just talking to them about doing the things that
like they could have been in a long-term relationship in the past where they've done this thing that their previous partner has loved, and you don't like it, and that's okay. You just need to talk about it.
Definitely.
Or they could have only ever had one night stands, in which case missionaries their go-to. No, but do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like, you just need to have an open communication.
They're not always easy, and you go a bit bright red when you start on them, and you cringe, and you're
so
like,
awkward.
Can you?
And you do sometimes feel bad in yourself, don't you?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
You didn't like that?
Yeah, I know. You're like, I'm trying my hardest, and then they're like, not
the biting.
for me.
Like, it's, you know, you just gotta have the open.
It's, if you're feeling embarrassed, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling sad, just know it's 100% normal, and it's 100% something that you can take control of and try and work on as a couple. Okay, now we've gotten on to like the DMs, so they're a little bit longer. Last week was my 5-year anniversary with my boyfriend. We had an evening dinner reservation, so I went and got my nails done and my lashes done, and I got back and he'd gone down the pub and didn't return till 1 a.m. Obviously I was fuming, but he continued as if nothing happened. Any advice on how to handle this? I love him, but he's made me doubt his loyalty to me. That literally breaks my heart.
Did he say he was going down the pub?
It just says...
Do you know what I mean? Like, did he... It sucks, but did he forget?
Well, they had an evening dinner reservation, so...
But he must have forgot. There's, like, it doesn't say, like, has he done it just to avoid the dinner reservation, or has he...
There's so many things I want to know.
Because clearly, if he doesn't want to go on a dinner reservation, like, who doesn't like eating out? I'm very confused.
For starters, I'm really sorry that happened to you, because that sounds really, really devastating, and especially when you've gone out of your way to do your nails and your lashes and everything, and you've been so excited. That literally, honestly, my heart is breaking a little bit. But yeah, I'd start by communicating, asking him why that happened. Again, there will be a reason. He'll either forgot. There will always be a reason for everything, and you need to decide whether you like that reason or not, and whether that reason is enough for you. If he genuinely forgot, and like you address it tomorrow, and he's like, "Oh, I completely forgot. I didn't even realise."
That's
horrible. But
it happens.
Maybe something that you can work through. And whatever the outcome of why it happened, you need to decide what that means to you.
Yeah, like that's horrible. I think you can think like, how can someone forget an anniversary? But
to some people,
like that isn't the important part of the relationship.
Well, that's a bit like me and James. Like I'll make a big party, get balloons, and I love that side of it. when you're just rather just spend time with me every day. Yeah. Hey Carys, my question would be, any ideas to keep the relationship interesting after a long time? I guess we've kind of, a lot of them are very similar. I've been with my boyfriend for 8 years and I find myself getting bored now and then. I find it hard to want to have sex as much. I feel so guilty and he's my favourite person to spend time with. I think that's such a hard one, and honestly I just skimmed through like 4 that were very, very similar, and it's a very, very, and I guess maybe that's a little bit of peace of mind for you, that so many of these dilemmas were along similar lines. People have been in long-term relationships and they're getting, I wouldn't call it boredom, like don't feel like just because you don't want to be like, I'm gonna have sex with you, that you're bored of them. You're just living your future life. Like that's how life's gonna be. You spend a lot of time with someone for years and years and years. It's not boredom, it's just like
appreciating being with them less. So I think just because you're not as physically involved with them does not mean that you appreciate that person any less.
Because she said, I love spending time with him.
Exactly. We love spending time sitting in silence next to each other. It's brilliant.
We literally do.
But no, I think this thing is, and I think what frustrates me so much is I should do this. I should do this in a relationship. And it's like, oh, I feel guilty because I don't want to have sex that often with him. But like it's such a feeling, isn't it? Like that we should have sex
do that
this many times a week.
We've spoken about that
forever, and we talked about it a lot. And it's like, why do you feel like you have to have sex if you don't want to, and the other person also doesn't want to? I struggle with the.
But then I had another couple of questions on sex drive, and it's like.
Yeah, people worry about their sex drive.
Worry about their sex drive. When I don't know, it's a really difficult one because it's like if you're both happy with it. Whatever, like you have sex.
If you're both happy having sex once a month,
or whenever you have it,
then
have that. Yeah, like
don't feel pressured.
It's up to you.
That, and I've had enough of. Oh, I don't feel like my relationship's that good. We only have sex twice a week. It's
got nothing to do. Like I know it's a part of being in a relationship, and it's an amazing part as well. Like honestly, you should like appreciate it when it does happen. If you're not having it very often, then make those times special because it is a special part.
But then the point is, if you want to have more sex, again, it's communication. Yeah. If it means a lot to you, but if you just feel guilty, but you also don't want to have more sex, then I don't know. Don't have more sex.
Also, maybe I don't know if this is good advice. Yes,
it's a good one. That was
Yeah, but people might want to have more sex.
But then you don't want to have more sex.
But
if you just want to have more sex, you don't actually want to have more sex, and so don't want to have more sex. Just be happy.
You want to have more sex because you think it's right to want to have more sex.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like society's view, isn't it?
Also, should you question? So, say you're struggling with that. Should you? Because I thought this could be good. If you're worrying about whether it's because you like the person or not, if you're struggling to have sex drive for your partner, should you be struggling to have sex drive overall with everyone? So like, is it then worrying if you're struggling to have sex with your partner, but then you kind of see
other... You're asking me as if I'm the counselor.
No. I'm saying I'm trying to think of like other situations. Yeah. So if you actually feel like you do have a sex drive, but for other people, is that when it crosses the line to become worrying?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Because say when I'm lacking sex drive, like I'm lacking sex drive everywhere.
Even with Justin Bieber.
Oh, gosh, I know.
That's
like
a shame.
We all know it's gone. Sex drive gone. When just no. But yeah, do you know what I mean?
No,
Does that kind of make sense?
I agree. Yeah.
So then, if you are lacking sex drive with your partner, maybe think about whether you'd be lacking sex drive with. I don't know.
Yeah, like
if
you're
like
out and about and you're fantasising about other people and thinking, oh, I wish, whatever, if you're on a night out and even though you're not doing anything dodgy, you're still fantasising and stuff, then that's when you need to have the conversation.
100%. And also talk to your other partner, because I feel like a lot of the times you feel like you lack sex drive and that's worrying you because you don't actually know how your partner feels about it. He might feel exactly the same way, but you kind of feel a little bit guilty each day because you're like, is he missing this? Is he going to be kind of annoyed that we're not having sex? So just again, talk to each other. Everyone thinks very differently around these topics, and like we said at the beginning of the video, this is just our two pence. Yeah. Is that what you say? Our 2 pence worth.
Tuppence.
Tuppence? Our tuppence worth.
Throw your 2 pence worth in the 5.
Yeah, something like that, isn't it?
I'm really confused now.
Your penny's worth.
Your penny's worth.
Is it?
I don't
something
know.
Like that. So that is all of the dilemmas that we will be covering today, guys. Thank you so much if you're still here. Don't know how long that video is.
I don't know how long that video is. Like, we kind of dropped our videos down in time, and I think this one's going to be really long again, isn't it?
They are. The chatty ones are always the longest. But we hope you enjoyed, and we hope that you found some of the answers. Okay, I'm trying to move this closer and it's not working. We hope you found some of the answers insightful or helpful in some way.
I really enjoyed doing that.
I really enjoyed doing that as well.
Like I said, next time I think we should do a live call-in.
We are not going to be doing that.
No. Okay.
Who knows what people could call in with?
I know. People like, bye. Okay.
Help us. Like we said, we're just two very normal humans giving our 2 tuppence worth. So please, obviously, always make your own decisions about everything and never feel guilty or anything when you're watching any videos like this. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you're enjoying all our sit-downs lately.
I'm enjoying sitting down.
We're sitting down a lot. We're going to go and get out of the house now.
We are.
It's going to be good fun.
I think we should go on a walk or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Please give the video a like if you did enjoy it. Leave us a comment below. We love reading your comments, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Subscribe if you're new and turn your noties on. We will see you.
Love you guys so much.
Bye.
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 Mwah.